All right, everybody. Welcome back to Bulevsky Science. Oh, it is Monday, April 5th, 2021. We have less than 8 weeks of school remaining, so hang in there. We're coming down the stretch run now, you might say. So we're coming to an end. Uh, let's see here. Hope you had a great spring break. Hope you're rested up and ready to go. Let's finish this thing out with a bang. It's been a interesting school year to say the least. So I know lots of people looking forward to getting to summer and enjoying summer since summer was robbed of us last year. So let's make sure that you finish off the school year with a real strong and don't mess up and hurt your grade any. All right. So today we started out with the warm up. You need to make sure you get your warm up taken care of. What is a mutation? And had a bunch of people kind of, there's like, hey, do you want us to write down an actual mutation? Do you want us to write down the definition for a mutation? That is your choice. I would personally write down the definition for mutation, which we're going to cover here in just a moment. But you do what you do what you want to. I can understand when people read that question, it kind of confused them a little bit. I actually had in mind writing down what the definition is, but if you want to write down examples of it or whatever, that's fine too, because it'll work. All right, so today's video is going to be really quick and to the point, because basically we are wrapping up chapter 4. And I hate taking a test right after spring break because you've had that week off and all that information leaves your mind. So tomorrow in class, we're going to go over the review sheet together. We're going to talk about the review sheet, and we're going to just get everybody, kind of get your brain working about chapter 4 stuff again. And today, basically, I went over the end of chapter 4, section 4. So let me get us over here. This is third period. I'm just using them because they're just sitting right here. Right here is their class. I still had it up here on my desktop. So I'm just going to use it for an example. Right here is the review sheet. Now, I'm not going to make this do. However, this is something that you can use tonight and tomorrow to help you to study for the test. So this is what we're going to really go over tomorrow a lot. But today we didn't cover this. Today we're covering chapter 4, section 4. So do whatever voodoo that you do. This will be for a grade. So you will be turning this in here very, very soon. But you need to go to chapter 4, section 4. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you need to click on the Google document. I'm going to click on the textbook here. And basically today and we've already done this, but this is what I did in class today just to get people back in the swing of things and just to get them thinking about genetics again. So what we're going to do is on your review sheet, we're going to answer the 4 definitions because they are on the test, of course. And they are number 5, protein synthesis, number 9, messenger RNA, number 10, transfer RNA, and number 11, mutation. So basically, that's all we're going to do today. We're just going to do the definitions. What you need to do is if you have not finished this review sheet, finish this review sheet. Finish the section 4 review sheet and get it turned in to me. Now, when you finish it, if it's today, if it's tomorrow, no big deal. All right? Because you need to be studying. This is all going to help you study for the test on Wednesday, which covers the entire chapter 4. So you need to kind of be getting prepared for it. All right. So, all right. Let's find the first definition is protein synthesis. And they have changed my toolbar over here, which you can probably tell. And so here's the pen, and we're going to make it green. And now let's see if I can have a steady enough hand to write down what the definition is. All right. Protein synthesis is the cell uses information from a gene on a chromosome to produce a specific protein. Hit pause and get it typed in, and we'll come back and we'll answer. We'll talk more about it. Okay, you got protein synthesis typed in there. What is protein synthesis? Okay, protein synthesis is basically when the cell, the nucleus, it uses information from the DNA to make new proteins. And you've got to make new proteins in order to grow, repair tissue. So when you fall down and scratch your knee, okay, what happens is your body will start the cells that are in that area, like the skin cells. The DNA will start making copies of itself, and then it will start making new cells. And in order to make new cells, the DNA will tell the old cell how to make the necessary materials to make new cells. And that's done through protein synthesis. Protein synthesis is just a way that your cells help to make materials for new cells. That's basically what it is. All right. So, how does a cell know? How does it know what tissues are needed to be made? All right. Well, that's a good question. All right. So, let me see if I can figure out how to do this. I need my mouse back. Here we go. All right. Numbers 9 and 10 is the different types of RNA. And if you'll remember, there's two types of RNA. There is messenger RNA and there's transfer RNA. Let's do messenger RNA first. Messenger RNA copies the coded message from the DNA in the nucleus and carries the message to the ribosome in the cytoplasm. Oops, I got a little wild right there. Messenger RNA copies the coded message from the DNA in the nucleus and carries the message to the ribosome in the cytoplasm. Hit pause and I'll answer. I'll come back and talk about it more. Okay, so what in the world is messenger RNA? Okay, I'm going to skip forward a little bit. And you're going to see, here's a picture inside the cell. Here's DNA. Remember, DNA has two sides on it. Here's the one side that's yellow, and here's another side. Here is RNA, and RNA only has one side. It's a single helix. That's this green part that you see right here. And it comes in and it reads the code of the nitrogen bases inside the DNA. And if you'll look right here, you can see that it's matching up right here. And what happens is the messenger RNA then comes out of the nucleus and it goes to this purple thing right here that's called a ribosome. And as it goes through the ribosome, the messenger RNA shows it the code that was read from the DNA. And this code is special. Here it says GUAUUCA. Okay, well, why is that important? Because that tells the other type of RNA, which is called transfer RNA, what amino acids to bring in. Notice this is an amino acid here and here and here. These amino acids are brought in. So if you'll look right here, we've got a pink amino acid right here that's brought in by this transfer RNA. Well, this pink amino acid is brought in because the transfer RNA reads down here, GUA. And so that means CAU, which are the opposite nitrogen bases, it means to bring in this type of amino acid. And so this amino acid is brought in according to this code. This code means bring in a blue amino acid. This code right here this is the code to bring in an orange amino acid. So messenger RNA basically goes in and gets the code from the DNA. And then we need to write down a definition for transfer RNA. We're going to use purple. Transfer RNA carries amino acids to the ribosome and adds them to the growing protein. Hit pause and we'll talk more about it. Okay, you got transfer RNA written in. What is transfer RNA? All right. So messenger RNA goes in and makes a copy, gets a code from the DNA. Transfer RNA are these green coat hanger looking things with a big nose. That's kind of what they look like anyway. Anyway, this is transfer RNA. And what they do is they transfer the message and bring in these amino acids. And if I come down here, you will see that the amino acid is growing together. And here, look how long it is getting. Because these transfer RNA come in here and read the code, and it brings in the correct amino acid. So, and as the amino acid grows, that is a protein, and this protein is what is going to be used to create new tissues. And so that's how you grow. That's how you repair damaged tissue. Okay. One more definition, and that is mutation. Let's do orange. Mutation is any change in a gene or chromosome. Now, this is what you may have written in for today's warm-up. A mutation is any change in a gene or chromosome. Hit pause and we'll come back and talk about it. All right, so you've come back. You've got that typed in. What is a mutation? Okay, a mutation is this. All right, let's use green here. Let's say, for example, this is DNA. How do I know this is DNA? It's got two sides to it, okay? It's got nitrogen bases running through it. It's got A for adenine, T for thymine, G for guanine, C for cytosine, okay? These nitrogen bases pair up together, guanine and cytosine, thymine and adenine, okay? So this is the way that, let's say that it's supposed to look like. All right. Let's say that this is some sort of gene that makes something in your body. Who knows what? Hair color, eye color. Who knows? Look at these three examples that you see right here. Something has gone wrong. Look at this third one right here. It says AT. Well, if you look right here, it's supposed to be CG. This is a mutation. Somehow or another, when the DNA was making a copy, somehow or another, this got stuck in there. That is called substitution. When something is removed and something else is put in its place, that is substitution in a mutation. It's kind of like in school. When a teacher is out of their classroom and another teacher is put in, it's called a substitute. Well, in your DNA, when it makes a copy of itself, if something is not copied correctly and something is put in its place, it's called a substitution. Another one is called deletion. Look here, it's missing. The third one, CG, look, it's completely gone. That's called deletion. It's completely missing. You know, look at your examples, CG, CG, CG. Okay, over here, CG, CG, and it's missing. It's called deletion. And the third type of mutation is called addition. That's when something is just stuck in there out of the blue. Okay, now look here. This is what it should be. CG, CG, CG. All right, here we go. CG, CG, CG. Wait a minute. This fourth one right here, it's just been stuck in there. GC. It's not supposed to be there. Okay, that is called addition when something is just added in there. Mutations can cause all kinds of things. Okay, I told the class about a gentleman that I met that had an extra thumb on his hand. He had two thumbs right there. This kitty cat right here has extra claws on its paws. Those are examples of mutations. Something just went wrong. Now, most of the time, lots of mutations occur and you don't even realize it. Some mutations can be harmful. They can cause disease. And some mutations can be helpful. A good example of a mutation that became helpful was now that people are going to argue about this one, but if there were dinosaurs that we have found that were starting to grow with feathers. Okay, and some of these creatures, most likely some of these creatures, these dinosaurs that started growing feathers, as time went by, it helped them to learn how to fly. They used these feathers to fly with. Well, that is a good mutation. It helped that creature to be able to fly, which is a more effective way of getting around. So, there's all kinds of arguments there that people can start, but that's an example of one type of mutation that some people believe in. All right, so we're going to stop right there. Tomorrow, we're going to do the review sheet. There may not be a video tomorrow. What you need to do tomorrow is you need to go over that review sheet, and you need to be looking at those words, and the words that you don't know, you need to study. So you might want to set a little bit of time to study for your test tomorrow. Hope you have a great day. That's it for science today. I hope I can remember how to stop this thing. I think right here's the stop button. So y'all have a great day. Talk to you later.